Can you imagine? You wake up one morning and the law has been passed that means that your children do not have any legal recognition and protection in the society. I am Maurizio Nasi, and this is why Pride is a protest.
Can you imagine every day having to choose between taking yourself to work or a persona that was never really you? I'm Alex.
I'm Kyle.
And this is why Pride is a protest.
Can you imagine whenever you have to choose a gender box, there's simply no box for you? It's like you wouldn't exist. There's no good choice. Simply no box for you. I am Manya, and that's why Pride is a protest.
I'm a proud father of Luis and Giorgio, in order of appearance to the world, and I just want to be a father. I'm not an activist, I never meant to be, but still I'm not shy. So when it comes to defending my rights, I will raise my voice, I will be visible, because I feel that in today's society we cannot accept that some people, some parents, and most importantly some children have some rights and others they have nothing, just because there's discrimination. We have to call things for what they are. Discrimination still exists, and the priority of every society should be protect anybody under the law. Someone, a politician, said giving protection and love to somebody means recognizing them in the law.
I started my transition process in the first months at dentsu, and I was incredibly welcome and accepted. Obviously, nobody ever had anything against it, which was very, very helpful from a work-life balance perspective. The most important thing for me as a trans person coming into dentsu and working in the diversity, equality and inclusion initiatives, being part of DRG, was making sure that our trans colleagues and non-binary colleagues and anybody that really is in questioning has access to not only resources and guidance but to healthcare, because public healthcare for trans people is non-existent.
It's a luxury essentially to have it.
Yeah, it's something that if you have the money and the time and the resources to access it privately, then you have a fair shot at actually getting care. But if you're relying on the public healthcare system, it can take years to even be seen, and there's no support in the meantime. People want to know if my rights aren't being protected by the government, can my employer at least do something? And especially when they see a big company such as dentsu, they hope that the strengthening number is going to allow them to have some sort of protection. And that's why I think it was really, really important when we changed healthcare, private healthcare provider, and that healthcare provider supported transition care. I think it was absolutely critical because, again, nobody has.
It's not something you see very often as a default for a company.
Yeah, I think it's something that should be a very proud point. It's a necessary requirement. It's the same as allowing somebody to be flexible if you need to pick up their kids, or like that metaphor that I used is like showing up to work without glasses. You wouldn't expect somebody to show up to work without glasses, so why would you expect your trans employees to show up to work without the medical care that they need to perform on par with their colleagues?
I live in Warsaw, Poland with my girlfriend, a dog and a cat. I am a non-binary person, which means I don't identify with being a male or a female. Non-binary is a spectrum of not fitting into binary norms or genders, so it can also mean identifying with both genders or being gender fluid. Non-binary experiences can be different, and obviously every story is unique. I'm in my 40s now, and I first came out as a lesbian 20 years ago, but after a couple of years I knew I don't fit in, I didn't feel 100% lesbian. And then I met first trans non-binary person in my life, and I moved to Montreal for a year with them, and it was where I realized and discovered who I really was. Being a non-binary and a member of LGBTQ+ community living in Poland, as well as lots of places in the world, it's not easy. We don't have any laws supporting us. No marriage equality, no hate crimes laws. The transition for trans folks is a nightmare. You basically have to sue your parents to legally change the gender in the documents. There is not enough specialists, and mental health support refunded is not easy to get. And education for doctors, psychologists, and teachers is not efficient or even banned, especially in the smaller cities. I've been living in Warsaw since 2002, and I remember my first prize. Now the marches are full of the allies and families with children coming to celebrate the LGBTQ+ communities, which is amazing and beautiful. But in 2004 or 2005, it wasn't so much fun. But we need to remember that in lots of places in the world, we still don't have basic rights. We can get thrown into the jail. We can even get killed just for being queer. So for me, pride is more about visibility and letting everybody know that we are still here and we are fighting for our rights.
It's not ideology.
It's not a phase.
It is not a choice.
It's basic human rights.
It's true love. It's who I am. And that's
It's why pride is a protest.